What's going on, YouTube fam? Today I just want to give y'all a quick comparison of the Chicago Jordan 1s from the pair that released this year and the pair that released a couple years ago. So before I get started, I also did an on-feet review and just a close detail review of this year's Chicago 1 release. I'll put the link to all that down in the description. So getting to this video with the comparison, one of the big things that you can see, the pair that released this year had Nike Air, and the pair that released a couple years ago had your Jumpman on the tongue. You can see that the tongue is much higher on the pair that released a couple years ago, and it's made out of a really, it's a cheap leather to me. It's not a really good leather on here. And whereas this one is like your nylon material, which is really close to the OG. As far as the laces are pretty much the same. As you can see, laces are pretty much identical. Other thing is, the main thing is really the leather quality. The materials used on the pair that released a few years ago, it was really hard and stiff. It's a really stiff, hard leather. So I could push on it and I can't even, you don't see anything. But compared to this year's pair, you can tell this leather on this year's pair is really soft. It's a really soft leather. You can see that. It's really soft. They're both gonna crease, but that really doesn't bother me. It bothers some folks, but it doesn't bother me at all. But you can see the leather quality is much better on this year's release. And this is the pair that released a couple years ago. You just can see the difference in the grain of leather. As far as look, the shoe look the same. If you would, were to look at a glance, pretty much looks identical. You have your Air Jordan Wings logo, but on the back, the pair that released a few years ago has the Jumpman on the back, and the pair from this year doesn't. So that's a couple years ago, and this is this year's pair. And you can just look at the difference of the leather. Even this section right here, it's not as tall as this. That's a difference also, I just noticed. You have white stitching going across here, opposed to this. You just have your red stitching with a red square. The inside, this is the pair that released a few years ago, and this is the inside of the tongue for this year's pair. Also, this year's pair came with extra set of laces, came with the red laces and a pair of white laces. You can see down back in that area, and these only came with the black laces in it. Another difference was your boxes that it came with. So the pair that released a few years ago came with the Wings logo box, and this year's pair had your typical Nike Air Jordan 1s box. Here's the front of both. Let's check the colorway. So this is the pair from a few years ago. Price was just $110. And here's this year. See that price difference, $160. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell, man. You guys go ahead, y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll put all my social media information in the description as well. I'm IMTMCII. Leave me a like, leave me a comment down at the bottom. Y'all stay tuned for more to come. Peace.